Please raise your hands if you are there. Navnath, Rajeshwari, Sandeep. Team. If you are there, please raise your hands. Lakshmi Narayan. Please raise your hands if you are there. Am I audible there? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Am I audible there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I am waiting for a couple of us to join. I mean to say, resume the session. If you are there, please raise your hand. If you are there, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you are there. I can see Kumar also joined us. I will wait for next 2 minutes. Okay, it's a time for me to commence the session. Sandeep also joined here. So I have shared my screen. We'll move to the next module, and it is, I think I already have gone through this module. No. Okay. Okay. So next is image analysis. Okay, and I already have shown you the code on this module. How do we consume this image analysis? So I did show you this code, image analysis. We already have gone through it. Okay, so same the discussion on same topic here. Single analyze the image function to retrieve full analysis, individual functions to specify analysis. So here, if you recall, we did a call describe image in stream, this method. Okay, here also I called the same method. Here I called analyze image in stream. So analyze image in stream not only shown me description, but it did show me other things also, like analysis of the image, different tags there. Area also are plotted there, showing me part of the room, showing me actual person, okay, showing me cell phone, So one function, analyze image in stream, does more than one thing. So that is what this sentence is mentioning. And how do you get the data? So you are getting data. This is the URL through which you will access that service. Okay, version 3.1 analyze. Okay. Okay, and here you will see I get the contents like this is the list of the tags, whether these are adult contents or not. Okay, description about the image that also you can see here. Brands if are appearing like some in case if in some image there may be some car manufacturing brands, some logos there. Those are also identified. Brands are also detected. Faces are also detected. Okay, image type is also detected. So you get response of your command on this line. What I did here, I got that response in this object, and I am submitting that response along with the image to one custom written method, show image analysis. I already have written that method here at this place. So user defined methods have been written here inside Python code. See here, vision.py. Vision.py. Inside this, that method has been written. And that method basically is not doing analysis. It is simply using data, JSON data from here and plotting that data onto the image. And in order to plot it, why? So that is the reason why we have taken or we have imported matplotlib here. Matplotlib here. So that visualization is coming from matplotlib. Okay, so that's the way we did image analysis. Smart cropping. I remember there was a question on this also. Okay, so here thumbnail, I may be submitting some image, and in that image, when I submit smart cropping, what it does is important part, iconic part in that image is automatically identified, and it may create a thumbnail of that part. So here it is creating a thumbnail of that part. Okay, so it may be bypassing or dropping rest of the part which it has recognized as not much important, and only important part it is in a cropping the image it is cropping into a thumbnail. Video analyzer. Here also sentiment analysis can be done. Okay, custom insights. So facial recognition can be trained. Now here you observe facial recognition and celebrity identification requires limited access approval. These features are not available to everybody. These features are available only when you request for the permission and if they consider your request to be worth to approve permission. In accordance with our responsibility AI standard, it is because, celebrities are there, people are there, and definitely the person who are requesting for the permission must not be misusing this feature for the people from whom they haven't taken any permission of working with their photographs. So it becomes serious threat to personal identity, and that's why they have provided limited access and they are not giving approval to everybody. They would like how you are going to use it. Okay, and they will be monitoring your usage. Okay, and then only you can use it. So people train facial recognition from sample images. You can think of using this feature for your company employees. So maybe for every employee, you will create a database there so that whenever that employee comes into video frame, that employee should be identified quickly. So when in morning that employee is identified quickly for the first time in the premises of the company, automatically it should record attendance. And whenever on the main gate, the video recognizes that that employee is leaving main gate. Automatically, his exit time should be mentioned. So without an employee taking an extra effort to mark his attendance, such an automated system can be designed. Identifying brands, identifying animated characters. So many such insights, custom insights can be designed. Video analyzer widget API. So there also we will submit a URL this way and it will return the details about it. Okay, let me show you some code based on face recognition. Face analysis. Here you observe again key and endpoints are given. Let me just check, can I put this code to run? For that purpose, here I will have. Let me put this to run. Now let me put this to run. I want to go with 8.10 or 8.8. I don't remember now. Let me try going with 3.8.8. Let us see, does it work? It sees that it has already been installed. See, this error is not going. It means I think I haven't installed, or I should not install it on 3.8.8. I should install it on 3.8.10. 8.10. Let me try installing it here. Okay. So now it has to recognize faces. Setup is detected. Setup is currently running. So from this image now, it has to recognize the faces. So let us see. And again, similar things here. You can see it has recognized the faces. Okay. Not resolved. That is surprising now. Okay, face client has been created, endpoint and credentials have been submitted. And here I am submitting some photograph to it. Okay, and face detect with a stream. So detected face coordinates what it will get here in the form of the JSON. And those coordinates I am submitting to show faces method. Okay, written in using matplotlib lab, matplotlib API, and here it has recognized the faces. This kind of utility you might see in your mobile where it recognizes faces. Okay, now here what it is doing is it is a detecting face. Okay, but for every face it is also showing ID, because if for every face it allots unique ID. So for every face now it is allotting one ID, so unique identification for that face. Okay, so facial attributes. If I want to get here, you observe detect with a stream, show face attributes. So I want to see face attributes also. So here you observe how does it show me the output? Okay, so it is showing me age, Okay, it is showing me say sentiment on the face. So there is no anger, there is no disgusting, there is no fear. It has complete happiness on that page, on that face. So it is identifying, let's say, sentiment on the face. Let me put it to run. Okay, so I'm putting it and see from the face how it has recognized the sentiment on the face. Here I am submitting two different faces, or two different photographs, and I want to check in these two photographs where it is finding a match. Okay, so thereby detect with a stream. So here is first photograph submitting, here is second photograph submitting, and then here we are finding a similarity. And thereby, wherever it is, it will find a similarity, it will show me it has been matched. So see, this face has been matched here. Though faces are from different angle, but otherwise, landscape, it will do matching of landscape from the face, and thereby it will recognize that face is of the same person. Here I am trying to identify a person. So here you will realize I am creating a person group. Now let me quickly explain you what this is. See, I gave you an example that for a company, I want to establish a system which will recognize the faces of the employee or the people roaming in the company premises. From there, I may want to identify whether he is employee or whether he is somebody new in the organization, in the premises. So to identify employees, I will have to create a person group here. In that person group, I will add a person. So here I may be adding, so I'm creating a person group with the name employees. Okay, and in that group, I will add a person here. And for a person, so here I am adding a person, vendor. In the person group, I am adding a person. I am naming that person. And for that person, I may be, uploading multiple photographs of the same person. This is how I am, say creating a train. I am training a model for that person. So here I am training a model for that person. The same step I will do for the second person. So I will name the second person in the same person group, and I will upload, a number of photographs of second person. And thereby, wherever I will get that person, now these three photographs we are uploading for that person. Now I want that person to be identified in this photograph. And here is a code for that. So here, identify. I am asking it to identify a face by submitting that specific photograph. And here, it will identify a face of that person. So this is how a person can be identified. So this is how face recognition go. This is how face recognition go. Okay, so now you quickly go through these questions. Okay, and I am showing the answers also. Just match those answers to the answers you might arrive to. I will wait for next 2 minutes. Okay, so I think I should go ahead. One last module I will cover today. Okay, remaining module, because of paucity of time, I will not be able to cover. Okay, in the meantime, I will go for some of these sample questions. Okay, for the examination to give you idea what kind of questions are normally asked there. Okay, developing custom vision solutions. Now, in custom vision solutions, they have given you one portal. Okay, if you want to have a close look at this lab, here it is. Image classifier, no, object detection. Yes, custom vision project. Okay, so there is a separate portal available for this. Okay, and if you follow these steps, you will realize how to work with it. Here they are giving us images of some fruits. Okay, but any object which your company may be manufacturing, can be images to that object can be uploaded here. Okay, so what you have to do is many images of that object you will have to upload here, and there may be a number of products you may be having, maybe 5 products. Okay, and for every product you may be having maybe 30 images. So for every product you will upload those 30 images, and for every image you will give the tag. So for example, what kind of product it is, what is the name of that product, that will form a tag. So you will submit those products along with their tags. So for first product, you will upload its image and you will mention the name of that product. So for every product, for every image, you will mention these tags. And after you have uploaded all these images, okay, then you will create a model. You will create a model. Here you will create a model. And that model then you can deploy. So on the cloud, there is a way to deploy it, or you even can, deploy that model in machine on your premise. And that model, which is in the form of image, image means not a pictorial image, image means image file. Okay, that model you can deploy on premise, and that model you can use for the purpose of the production. Okay, and here you will observe, after that, it has to show me labels on the product. So when I submit one another image to the product, okay, what exactly it is, whether it is product 1, product 2, product 3, or what product 4 or product 5, accordingly, it will show me a label for that. It will be able to quickly identify the product. But this is custom vision, wherein uh, there are many products already. So there are many models available that trained for the product, like different fruits, like maybe utensils we are using every day. So those kinds of images they have created. But if you want to create a custom model, so through this API you can do that. You can create a custom model also. So fine, apple, banana, orange. I did create a custom image for some biological species, leaves of some plants. For that purpose, I did create this model, and then we used it to tell me, in case if I get some leaf of some plant, I will upload its image to know what is its scientific name, what is the scientific name of that plant. For that purpose, I did use this image classification. Okay, detection. Here, whenever multiple objects are seen in the image, this is apple, this is orange, this is banana. In that way, it will identify the object. Okay, so object detector is also there. Okay, and here is object detection. Object detection code is also there. So I am using. So I also have written that. I haven't written actually. I tried getting it from GitHub. This is the last question answer. Okay, I am showing you answers to this. Okay, just verify ask me any question if you have. Okay, and there I will conclude a discussion on the modules. We will go to some question answers thereafter. Okay. So fine. I will fast forward take you to remaining modules now. Detecting, analyzing, and recognizing faces. I already have discussed with you and did show you the code on that. Okay, and I have had discussion on this also. Reading text and images and documents, OCR and reader. These two services available there. Okay, let me show you that code also. OCR and reader, optical character recognizer. Here you observe. Okay, I don't see image here. Okay, otherwise I would have shown how does it work. Okay, which image? Letter.jpg inside OCR. This image it is referring to. Image is data. OCR. This is printed image. Advert.jpg. See here, Northwind Traders, fresh product, friendly service. That is appearing there. Okay. Notes.jpg. This is matter which is handwritten. How does it recognize that matter also? This is handwritten matter. That also it recognizes. And deliberately, now this is my handwriting. Deliberately, I have put it in the vertical way to just check. If I change the direction of the text, does it identify? Okay, so that's how that say API works for reading the text. And then building bots, question answers. So how do we submit different questions to it and answers of those questions, and how from those different questions, it extracts the intent of those questions and map those intents with the answers, so that a similar question, if somebody puts, that somebody will get the answer because it will grasp the intent from the question that has been submitted, will map it with the answer, and that answer is shown automatically. Okay, so those are all robotic answers given. So how do we create our own question answer base there? How do we upload the questions? In what are all different formats we can upload the questions? And how do we create a model, trained with the questions and answers? And thereafter, how can we use that model in production? Okay, so here is the code for that. There is here it is. How can we access the question answers? Yes. So here we can add that HTML code that will access submit a question to the answer, so submit a question to the model and it will get the answer from there. That will be HTML code, and this code automatically shown on that portal itself. When it creates a model, it shows that code on the portal. Okay, that code you can copy paste, put into your HTML document and see how HTML document accepts question in the text box, and how do you see a response from the model. So that you can uh, try doing here. It works. Okay, so that also I have tried. Okay, so that's all. Any question on whatever I have covered? Okay, go through these questions and answers. Any question on whatever I have covered? Go ahead with your question, please. Any question, please? I am lowering all the hands. Would like to check with you. Have you understood the things, whatever I have explained till to the time? Hello? Simran understood it? See, whatever time available, I'm trying to cover as many things as I can. Rajeshwari understood it. I took you to the code. I shown you how that execution is happening. Okay, I have taken you through the concepts. Okay, so I can see two of you responded. Kumar also. This code is already, I told you, no, it is on GitHub. Okay. Can you share? Repo means what? It's heavy to catch all at a time. GitHub repository, huh? I can show you again. See how you can get this code quickly from GitHub repository. You simply have to type GitHub AI 102. GitHub AI 102 and see here lab files for AI 102. And there you will see whole of the code. Okay. You also can refer to the code of 900 AI 900. AI 900. Here it is. Here you will see same code. I repeat again, that code hasn't been written by me. That code is already available there. But every part of that code I have tried, and wherever corrections are needed, I did those corrections. So here is that code. So in this code, you simply have to submit appropriate, say, cognitive service access key and a URL. So from where to get that access key and a URL, that also I already have shown you. And that code, once you execute a pip command on appropriate Python installation, that code has to work. So that code is working. Huh. Yes. So Simran has shared the link. Let me share a link for AI 900 also. So here I am sharing a link for AI 900 also. So there you can refer to that code. Okay, it is the time for me now to take you to a couple of questions. And I understand, Alim, and I agree with you that it is a little bit heavy to catch. But in the 1 day training, I was expecting you to at least aware of basic things. Okay, if you are aware of basic things, then in 1 day I can take you to the next thing. Okay, but otherwise, this session of AI 102 is of 3 to 4 days. Yeah. Okay, so let us have say look at couple of questions now. You may find some of the questions difficult here. Okay, but always remember in examination, not all questions are difficult. All say many questions are really simple. And one more thing, let me tell you that even if you feel like for some of the topics you haven't prepared, okay, but whenever you will prepare for 102, you know, maybe after you prepare for 102, you will be in position to find the answers for these questions. Because to be very frank, the questions are not difficult. Questions are not complex. Once you work with these things, no, you will be able to answer the questions. Now see here, this question one is on the chatbot. You have 100 chatbots that each has its own language understanding model. So chatbot means to which you submit a question and that chatbot answer that question. That is chatbot. So I remember in ICICI Bank, EVA is a chatbot that is answering your questions. In ICICI portal, you will see EVA. Okay, so that is chatbot. But here we are having hundreds of chatbots with every chatbot is having different language model. So I will have to create a different models. Frequently, you must add the same phrase to each model. So models may be different, okay, but uh, the data that you are using to train the model, that is same. Same set of phrases you will be submitting to all the 100 models. You need to programmatically update the language understanding models to include new phrases. New phrases you want to add there. How should you complete the code? So see here, await client.features dot. What should be written here? Okay, this must be a method name because whatever you write here, after that there is a round brace. This is the first parameter of that method, second parameter of that method. And the third parameter is again some object. See here, curly brace. So if you know more about JSON and if you know more about Python, Python methods have parameters with the round braces and Python objects have curly braces. I have got some questions. Phrase list, create object. Phrase list, create object. Absolutely right. It is correct. And what do you see here? But phrase list, create object. Is it a result of the or answer to the first box or second box? That you haven't mentioned. Because I am trying to bring to your notice that first box should have method name and the second box should have object name. So whenever you are mentioning phrase list create object, okay, I believe you want to mention that object name here at this place in the second box. If it is so, what will be in the first box? Okay, so add phrase list async should be in the first box. So add phrase list async. Okay. It seems to be method name because add is a verb there. Okay. And phrase list create object. Object is a word there. On the object, you apply new operator. So new operator you apply on the object. So even if I do not know much about it, I may apply some logic and may arrive to the answer. Let me show you actual answer. Add phrase list async and phrase list create object. So I'm trying to give you some hints that sometimes even if you don't know the answer, how can you, find the answer from the given list of options? So there I applied the logic that, where should I have a method name and where should I have an object name? And from the list, then I tried to identify method name and object name. Okay, so such type of tricks help a lot in examination. I am taking you to the next question. Now, this question is difficult and it is a bit obvious that this question, will carry higher weightage also. You plan to use language understanding application named APP1 that is deployed to the container. You need to create a container that uses the latest deployable version of APP1. Latest version of APP1. Okay, APP1 is a language understanding application that you want to deploy. Which three actions should you perform in sequence? And in examination, what they do is they will give you these options and they will give you one button here to the right side. If you click that button, you'll have to select the option and then click on that button. That option will be moved to the right side. And to the right side, you have to move three options. Okay. And they should be arranged in a specific sequence. You have to move them to the right and you have to arrange them in a specific sequence. Okay, so here the problem is that you have understanding application, language application model, and that you want to deploy to the container. So what are all steps you will follow? So here I am showing you the steps. First of all, you will have to select the version of the application. Then you'll have to export the model by using export as a JSON option. So you'll have to export the model, okay, to the container, and then run the container and mount the model file. These three steps are given there. Run the container, export the model using JSON. This is that state, and select. This is that state. So first three options only, but you will have to arrange them in appropriate sequence. Here I do one thing. Let me share this URL for more information. Yes. And now a question is that if I don't know the answer of this question, how do I find a correct answer? So here, first of all, before I do anything, I have to select appropriate version. I have to select appropriate version. Okay. And here in this list, you observe version 1.2 hasn't been trained. So that model is not existing for deploying on the container. What is the latest model that is available to deploy on the container? Version 1.1. That is the latest model which is ready and we can deploy it on the container. Now, whenever we publish, then so publishing is a step to deploy. It is a step to deploy. So it is not yet deployed. So that's what I want to deploy. And that's why, first of all, I'm selecting version 1.1. Okay, now I have to export that model. Okay, in some cases, we call it the publishing. And in some cases, we call it the exporting. So now in which case we call publish and in which case we call it export. So let me show you, let me tell you. Just a minute. So whenever I am creating a model in the cloud and I am publishing it within the cloud only, we call it the publishing. But when I am creating a model in the cloud and then I am publishing it somewhere outside the cloud, then it is exporting. And that's why here we are using the export word. And then we have to run the container. And then that container will start creating production. So that is another way to identify or answer such questions. Now there is one more risk in these questions. I told you you should attempt each and every question and there is no negative marking. Of course, in this question also there is no negative marking, but there is one hitch in such question that if order is wrong, even if you have selected options correctly, but if their order is wrong, then whole answer becomes wrong. Whole answer becomes wrong. So that is one risk, but no way, there is no negative answering. Okay, so you can try to attempt these questions, but you have to be extra careful while while mentioning the order. Okay, so you have to mention the order properly. Next question. You need to build a chatbot that meets the following requirement: support chit chat, knowledge base, multilingual model, perform sentiment analysis on user messages, select the best language model automatically. What should you integrate into chatbot? You definitely can answer this question if you follow the lab steps. And not only labs of AI-102, even if you follow lab of AI-900, still you can attempt this question correctly. In lab of AI-900, steps are given there and you can quickly arrive to the answer if you have followed that lab at least once. So I am disclosing answer. So it's a language understanding, text analysis, and Q&A maker. Okay. So answer is C here. Now let us have a look at it. So it's a chit chat and knowledge base. So when chit chat and knowledge base word is appearing, it means you have to go with a Q&A maker. You have to go with a Q&A maker. Now here you observe there are Q&A maker is in two options, option A and option C. Okay. Now it is asking you to do sentiment analysis on user messages. We have seen how can we do sentiment analysis, and we have seen doing it on tweets using text analysis. Text analysis is a service which can do sentiment analysis. So now here you observe, and text analysis is the only service which can do sentiment analysis. Okay, so there is no text analysis here, and there is a text analysis. So because of these two, I am pretty sure I have to go with a C. And that's why it is, let me just check any message. Yes. So that's how, you will have to apply the logic. Question 4. Now this is simple question, and you will see a couple of such simple questions in the examination. You need to extract top level information from the receipts such as vendor and the transaction total from the receipt. Okay, I did not discuss this point, but it is a form recognizer. It is a form recognizer. Form recognizer means you will have to submit some forms or receipts to it, and from that form or receipt, it extracts the information for you. So answer is form recognizer. Very handy tool, specifically in business, that hard copies or soft copies like PDF or Word document also can be scanned. You definitely receive a soft copy as you want to maintain the proof. And you want to convert content of that proof into digital figures, there you need form recognizer. Here it is. So a correct answer is form recognizer. Going ahead. So receipts, forms, the entities from receipts and forms can be accessed using form recognizer. You may be having it in the form of a PDF file, image file. Still, it can read the data from there. Next. Here you observe very first sentence is also equally important. The first sentence is asking you to create two services. Sentiment analysis means it needs a text analysis and optical character recognition. Optical character recognition is also a part, uh, yes, of text analysis only, but there are two different features of text analysis you are using here. The solution must meet, optical character recognition is a part of image processing and sentiment analysis is a part of text analysis. Sorry. Okay, so there are two different services, image processing and text analysis. And you want both these services to be used. Use a single key and endpoint to access multiple services. This particular first option is helping a lot to you to arrive to the answer. What answer mentions is that what type of request here you will create. Okay, to create, how should you complete HTTP request to create a new resource? Consolidate billing for future service that you might use. So we need a form recognizer also. Support use of computer vision in the future. So we need support for multiple services, not a single service, but multiple services. How should you complete HTTP request? Okay, and here you will see what kind of request do you create here. That is one thing. Resource group, provider, cognitive service account. Okay, API version. So here it is mentioning Microsoft.cognitive services. It is mentioning. Okay, so from here, the first option is applicable. First option is applicable. Okay, and this HTTP request, what we are creating here, okay, to the resource group and asking to create a cognitive service. Here we are asking it to create a service. And for creating this service, here this request is always of the put type. It is not of the post type. It is of the put type. Let me just check whether somebody has given me correct answer. Cognitive service. Okay, and the request is of put type. The request is of put type. So let me show you actual answer. Request is of put type. Okay, let me give you this URL for more information. There are two URLs. So copy paste these URLs in one document. Okay, that will help you to refer them later. Okay, going ahead. Now this is again simple question. Okay, please find the correct answer here. You are developing a new cell system that will process the video and text from a public facing website. Public facing website. You plan to monitor the cell system to ensure that it provides equitable results regardless of user's location or background. Equitable results. Equitable results means results without prejudice. Result without bothering about from which location the user is and with what background the user is. fair results you want to. And yes, Alim has given correct answer, fairness. So such equitable results, okay, fair results come under practice of fairness, responsibility, AI. Yes, so fairness is the correct answer here. Acha, okay, just another thing. Huh? Which two responsible AI principles? So one responsible principle, okay, I can understand from these words, users, location or background and equitable results. Another, another important, from a public facing website. Remember, whenever it is public facing website, you need to take extra security measures. You have to take extra security measures. So that is the reason why you have to take extra safety and reliability measures because it is public facing website. And that's why P and D are the two answers there. P and D. So from these words, what happens is you have to carefully read the statement and you have to catch the words which will take you to the actual answer. So cracking this examination successfully needs identifying appropriate words, catching those words and using those words to arrive to the actual answer. So such examinations are a skill, how quickly you catch the words, okay, and use them to arrive to the correct answer. Going ahead, next question. You plan to use containerized version of anomaly detector API on local device for testing and in on-premise data center. So you have to have anomaly detector model on-premise. You need to ensure that containerized deployments meet the following requirements. So that model you have to deploy in the container. Prevent billing and API information from being stored in the command line histories. Okay, control access to the container. With 4 actions should you perform in sequence? They have given you 6 actions. Okay, out of these 6 actions, you have to draw 2 actions. First of all, let us identify the steps which are important. Okay, so pull the anomaly detector container image from the cloud onto premise. Okay, that image you will have to submit to Docker. Put the image in an Azure, no, not this one. Build the image. Acha, put the image to the Azure Container Registry, push the image to the Docker Hub, and distribute a Docker run script. These will be the steps. So I'm showing you the steps. 4 steps from there I have mentioned. And again, I repeat, identifying these steps is not at all difficult. Similar kind of steps you have to follow whenever you create a Docker image on your machine for even a simple web application. So these steps you have to follow while creating a Docker image for web application. Same set of steps you have to follow if you are creating Docker image for the anomaly detector. Set of steps are same. So just have a look at it. Going ahead, going to question 8. Again, the question is based on similar scenario that image is there on the cloud. That image you want to download into the Docker. Okay, and the billing you will have to do on the cloud. you plan to deploy a containerized version of Azure Cognitive Service that will be used for text analysis. You configure your text analysis service on this URL with the name Contoso. Okay, so you will get this URL. So this is the URL of the service. Okay, as the endpoint URI for the service. You pull the latest version of text analytics sentiment analysis container. So you want to refer to the image. Okay, and that image is of sentiment analysis. Okay, image is of sentiment analysis. That is one thing. And second is you will have to do billing in cognitive service that you have created. Okay, so observe this command carefully. This command basically is to start the Docker, and to this command, you as a first option, you have to submit to the URL from where it will try to get the image, from where it will try to get the image, and then you have to submit the URL where it will try to do billing, where it will upload the billing information, and there you will see actual answer as, okay, here you will get an image, mcr.microsoft.com/Azure Cognitive Service /text analytics /sentiment. See here, text analytics sentiment. Okay, so this is image. And where you will do billing, you will do billing on the cognitive service that you have started. So this is endpoint for your cognitive service. This is endpoint for the cognitive service. That endpoint has been mentioned here. So this endpoint you will use for the billing purpose, and here you will mention the URL for the image. Thereby you are creating this code. So if you apply some logic here, not difficult, to answer such questions. Next question. And let me show you answer also. So in the answer, computer vision with a F0. Now, why F0 is mentioned? You observe here free Azure resource. Free Azure resource. That's why F0 is mentioned. It is also mentioning region. Now, in all four options, region is same. But free Azure resource has been mentioned in these two options. F0 here and F0 here. Okay. F0 is free. S0 is not a free. Okay. And then what kind of service are we creating here? So cognitive service. Okay, and it is not custom service. It is cognitive service what we are creating. Okay, and it is not custom service. So this option I am dropping because this command is creating custom vision. Okay, I want it to create cognitive service or computer vision, and that's why we are going with this very first option. In very first option, it's not custom, it's a free, and it's best use. That's why very first option is correct. Next question. Here is a command given to regenerate a key. I already have shown to you where do you find key 1 and key 2 and how do you regenerate them using portal. Here I am I can read a command to regenerate key. Okay, so I can regenerate key either through portal or through such a command. Okay, and which key I am asking it to regenerate. So from this command itself, I can see that I am asking it to regenerate key 2. So now it is asking me what this command will do. So it has to regenerate key 2. Now remember, for key 1, we call it the primary key, and for key 2, we call it the secondary key. Okay, and that's why option D is selected, secondary subscription. Let me just check. Yes, D. Answer is D. And it must not be B because query key, new query key. There is no question of query here. There is no query here. Okay, so option B is not at all applicable. We call it as a subscription key. We don't call it as a query key. And that's why option D. Okay, next. Form recognizer. Unfortunately, we did not have in-depth look at a form recognizer, but there is one rule for form recognizer that the size of the PDF or image that we can submit, should not be more than 50 MB, 50 MB. That is one thing. And the second important thing about a form recognizer is that whenever you are uploading a receipt or uploading an image, PDF files are allowed and JPG files are allowed. PDF or JPG file size must be below 50 MB. And here it is asking me 3 options. Which 3 files can you use? So I can use the PDF as it is below 50 MB. I can use this JPG as it is also below 50 MB. I cannot use GIF because GIF file format is not supported. JPG PDF formats are supported. I can use this JPG as it is also below 40. What are all formats supported? Let us have a look at it. PDF, JPG, TIFF, and PNG. But there is no GIF format being supported. Maximum limit is 50 MB. Okay, but now that limit has been increased to up to 200 MB very recently. That limit has been increased. Let me just check answer that somebody has given. 136. 136. You are correct. Yes. 136 is absolutely right. Next question. I will complete 2-3 more questions and thereafter, a time will be for yours to submit the feedback forms. The customer uses Azure Cognitive Search. Customer plans to enable a server-side encryption and use customer managed keys. So now keys will be encrypted, okay, by using customer managed symmetric keys. In encryption, there is the symmetric and asymmetric keys. Okay, so whenever you are writing anything, it will be encrypted. Whenever you are reading anything from there, it will be decrypted using encryption keys. What are all 3 implications of the plan to change? Now, this is additional layer of security you are introducing in terms of encryption. Additional layer of security. So what are all 3 implications here? Remember, internally, it is going to create 2 documents. One is the original document on which it hasn't applied encryption, and second is encrypted document. So it is going to create 2 documents internally. And on these documents, it has to create index. More are the documents, larger is the size of the index. Larger is the size of the index, search time is larger. Search time is larger. Okay. And the last thing is that whenever you are creating this encryption key, where this encryption key is maintained, it needs a special kind of service to maintain encryption keys. And such a service where these encryption keys are maintained, that service is called as a key vault. So remember, when customer managed encryption key comes there, it needs a key vault. Now you find out three answers. I am not able to understand who have answered it. No, nobody. Okay. So three correct answers. I already have given you enough hints to choose three correct answers from the list of given six answers. Let me show you answers.
Given the answers.
Sorry. Acha.
ABF, yes.
ABF, correct. ABF is the correct answer. So you can see that ABF. Okay, last question. These are case-based, case study-based questions, and here one small case study is given, and they are giving you one solution, and they will ask you whether this solution will meet the goal. Achha. And one more point to be noted here, once you answer this question, and if you go ahead, you cannot come back to this question. You cannot correct this question. So this is the first and last chance for you to answer this question. Okay, you create a web app named App1 that runs on Azure virtual machine named VM1. VM is an Azure virtual machine. VM1 is on Azure virtual network named VNet1. You plan to create a new Azure Cognitive Search service named Service1. How your web app can access service from Azure Cognitive Service? That is the question. You need to ensure that App1 can connect directly to Service1. App1 is representing web app and Service1 is representing cognitive service without routing traffic over public internet. Without routing traffic means that interaction to happen privately. How can you make it possible? Solution: you deploy Service1 and a public endpoint to virtual network and you configure private link. Will it meet the goal? No, it will be against this point that it will incur routing traffic over public internet. So this solution will not work. Answer is no. Okay, I'm giving to another question. Same question, but solution is different. You deploy Service1 and public endpoint. Again, when public endpoint comes, your traffic is routed to over public internet. So this solution also will not work because it is through public endpoint. So answer is no. Third, you deploy service public endpoint, again public endpoint. And you may configure network security group, NSG. But if it is a public endpoint, you cannot prevent its routing of the traffic over public internet. That's why its answer is also no. Lastly, if you deploy Service1 and a private endpoint to VNet1, you will deploy both the services into VNet1. Then whether they will be able to access each other privately, answer is yes. Both of them will belong into same virtual network. Then they will be able to access each other privately. So such type of questions are also asked in the examination. And that's all from my side. I have tried to cover as many questions as I can within available last 30, 40 minutes. Okay. And that's all from my side. I must be thankful to all of you to be here to, have a discussion with me on this topic. Okay, and now it is the time. Over to Chaitali. Chaitali, are you there? Chaitali, are you there? I'm thankful to everybody for your kind cooperation. Okay, and why Chaitali is not there? Chaitali, are you there? Like to know whether Chaitali has shared a feedback link to you.
Hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there. I'm there.
Chaitali, go ahead now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I have shared the learning batch with you all and the steps for that in the chat box. So you have to redeem that to get the learning badge for AI 102. Also, I'm sharing the feedback form in the chat box. So before leaving the session, do fill out the feedback form and share your views on the session. Thank you, guys.
Please fill up the feedback form before you leave the terminal.